Hi, this is Brad from 10 Minute Tips for Health and Wellness, and today I'm interviewing Kusha Karvandi from Z Health Education. Kusha is a highly certified physical trainer, expert in health, wellness, physical fitness. In fact, he's been helping physical trainers get better results for their clients using some of the innovative strategies that you're going to hear today. He is the best-selling author of NutriScribe and the host of ExtraScribe Radio. He believes in a systemic approach to understanding the way the body functions and works to get the best results, whether it's for overall health and wellness or for high performance, physical fitness, and athletics. So let's get into it. Kusha, thank you for stopping by today.
Thanks for having me, Brett.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right on into this. Kusha, I've known you for a while, and I know that you have a wide range of expertise when it comes to health and fitness, but I'd like to know the single best thing you'd recommend people do for maximum health benefits right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, it's funny. I've had such a wide diversity of clients, people, men and women from 20 all the way to 60 plus throughout the years. But the most salient point when it comes to health and fitness goals always seems to be body recomposition. I mean, ultimately, that's what everybody wants to achieve. More muscle, less fat, right? That's what everybody wants. So when I think about what's the simplest thing that somebody can do, even though the body is obviously very complex, the simple thing is really to look at neurology. And I'm going to teach a simple trick today, a simple biohack that will help actually influence your hormones for more muscle and less fat. So before we get into that, first let me kind of explain an analogy that explains really how the body works. The brain governs all of your hormones. So your hormones are part of this system in your body known as the endocrine system. And your endocrine system, which produces muscle-building hormones and fat-burning hormones, is told exactly what to do by your nervous system, by your brain. But unfortunately, a lot of trainers and coaches, they neglect neurology and neuroscience because they may not understand it, or they've been so myopically focused on biomechanics, and that's only one system. So the brain is like a GPS unit. It's always trying to create a clear map of where the body is relative to space and time. It has to get information from 3 satellite sources in order to create that clear map. It has to get information from your vision system, number 1, your vestibular system, which is your inner ear balance system. That's number 2. Your third system is your proprioceptive system, which is your muscles and your joints, your body. So your third tier, that proprioceptive system, is what all trainers focus on. That's the biomechanical model. When people are thinking what's the best way to achieve results, they immediately always focus on the body. They think of that localized area. But a lot of results may actually be neurologically derived. So, for instance, if I have a client that's kind of stuck, or they're just not seeing results when it comes to muscle tone or body fat reduction, one of the first places I look at is vision or inner ear balance. Because if your brain's not getting good information from your eyes or from your inner ear, which is common in today's day and age when we're sitting at a desk all day looking at a computer screen all day, then your brain creates a blurry map of where the body is relative to space and time. The consequences of that blurry map are pain, tightness, decreased strength, increased body fat storing hormones, and decreased muscle mass. So the goal is, when I take an approach with a client, my goal is to increase the clarity of that so-called map. So I try to get better information to the brain, and since vision is so important for your brain to do its job of safety and prediction, a lot of times I go straight to vision. So what I'd like to do is share a tip, a simple exercise that anyone can do from anywhere to help increase the clarity of the brain's map. And so what you want to do first is establish a baseline. So in order to test the efficacy of this drill, you have to have a baseline test. So what I want you to do is first do a standing toe touch. Assess your hamstring flexibility. And for most people, you're going to be relatively stiff. You're going to feel the tightness in your hamstrings. But the idea is that you're going to assess how far you can go so we can reassess and see what this drill does for you, or what variation of the drill works best for you. So once you've established that baseline, what you'll do is you'll have both arms out in front of you, and you're going to have your index finger in front of you, and you're going to have one arm is going to be positioned, your left arm is going to be positioned right in front of the left shoulder, and the right arm is actually going to be positioned so that your index finger is right in front of your nose. And what you're going to be doing is you want to make sure you're seated straight up, and you're going to actually, without moving your head, you're going to track your right index finger about 6 to 12 inches out. So it's going to go towards your right shoulder. So you're going to be tracking that right index finger towards the right. And then once you make it out to about 12 inches to your right, you're immediately going to switch your eyes to your left finger. And so these are two drills in one, essentially. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to get the eyes to actively, smoothly pursue your right index finger. And then after it's reached about your shoulder width, you're immediately going to shift your gaze as fast as you can onto the target on the left, which is your left index finger. And neurologically, what we're doing is we're trying to overstimulate one side of the brain, which would be your right hemisphere. And for a lot of people, what you'll find is that if you're having issues with body fat reduction or strength or muscle tone, it's most likely because some area of the brain is being inhibited, and it's not getting enough activation. So if we can overload it with activation, especially from a powerful source like the eyes, that can start to recalibrate and resynchronize the body so that everything else you do with your nutrition and with your strength training can become more effective. You know, not only will it affect body composition, but overall health in general, pain reduction, tightness. If somebody's been foam rolling and stretching every day and not really seeing long-term results, it's probably because the brain's threat level is very high, and it needs to be reduced by giving it good information with the eyes. The beauty is when you start understanding some of the neurology and the neuroscience that we teach through Z Health, it helps explain a lot around why other systems maybe fall short or why they only work sometimes. And it helps you kind of understand why some systems may work. You know, when some people, especially, it's funny, I've talked to a lot of trainers over the years, and they'll swear by some system. They'll say, "Oh, my system works. What I do works." But it's like, well, what I always want to know is how many dozens of clients have left you that it didn't work for. It works for the selective few clients that you have now. So when they say, "Oh yeah, it works for all my clients," it's like, well, yeah, it works for all the clients that you have now, but you've selectively picked those clients, without really realizing it.
Right. Now, you mentioned that this affects the body's hormones. Can you explain that in a little more detail?
Yeah, exactly. So your brain, it has this so-called threat bucket, and this is where all of your stressors will accumulate: mental stressors, postural stressors, digestive stressors. Everything goes into this threat bucket, and once it reaches a certain threshold, you will get spillover, and that spillover will manifest as pain, tightness, but it will also manifest as your hormones, your fat storing hormones and muscle catabolizing hormones will go up. So you'll lose more muscle and you'll gain more body fat as a result of the brain's threat level being too high. And the only way to bring the brain's threat level back down is to give the brain good information to reduce its threats. Because remember, your brain's number one job is safety and prediction of the body and how the body's oriented and where it's moving. And so giving good information through the eyes, the inner ear, or even doing some stuff with the body in terms of joint mobility can have a very profound effect on the brain's influence on your endocrine system, which we talked about earlier is your hormone management system.
Okay, that's excellent. And the way I see it is that these tools and the eye exercise, and I'm speaking as a person who's gone through this with you, actually gone through the training and seeing the results directly. You do a lot of other things that many bystanders might think, well, what is he doing? That doesn't look like physical training. That doesn't look like making the person sweat and overload their systems. But what you're doing are the little tweaks. I like to say that big doors swing on little hinges, and you are adjusting those hinges so that those doors swing smoother. And it's not just physical fitness, but it's overall health. I like your approach to that. Is there anything else you would like to expound upon about, regarding this expertise or what you do specifically as the health that makes you stand out?
Yeah, a lot of it is just the assessment approach. It's very reiterative. So we're always, our process is that you have to constantly assess and reassess to see what specific drills are going to be best for that individual, because everybody is different and everybody's brain is inherently different. So you have to be able to individualize a program for yourself, whether it's exercise, nutrition, no matter what it is, that has to be individualized based on a series of assessments and drills.
Right, and Z Health works with both individual consumers and trainers as well. Is that correct? You have programs for both, whether it's a fitness trainer looking to add skills and certifications to what they do with their clients, but also individual clients. You have a variety of resources for them that they can explore this further. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah. For the certification, for professional certification, Z Health offers over 10 courses, which are each 4 days. So they're very, very in-depth, much more in-depth and comprehensive than your average online certification that trainers are getting. And then for the general public, they have simple products that are very effective, such as the Vision Gym and the Balance Gym and the soon-to-be Strength Gym. And these are things that really help people, like I said, re-optimize their neurology, the neuroscience, their vision system, and their inner ear balance system, so that their hormones can get in check and their strength can be in check.
Well, that's excellent, and just about does it for our time today. But Kusha, you've done an amazing job of explaining a very innovative and unique approach to health and wellness that is proven to work, whether your goals are body recomposition or overall health, hormonal balance, stress reduction, etc. Through your tools and the tools at Z Health Education, which are available to both physical trainers and individuals. I encourage you to check out the resources available from Kusha, Z Health, and the network of health tips that we have here for you. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you, and here's the better health.